whatever we want to talk about, we're going to talk about it. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of E4 Explicit Podcast. I'm Corey, and this is Antony Davies, a professor, and I will let you kind of tell me your background.
I'm Associate Professor of Economics at Duquesne University and the Milton Friedman Distinguished Scholar at the Foundation for Economic Education.
That's so interesting that, like, all of these things that are potentially good ideas that would benefit everybody as a whole long term are like, no, we don't want to do that. It's because, like, we're scared and, like, the politicians and blah, blah, blah. So, like,
it's partly that. It's what we call the public choice problem. The beautiful example of the public choice problem is Amtrak. Amtrak has a line that runs from Los Angeles to New Orleans called the Sunset Limited. And the Sunset Limited was inaugurated in 1970. And from 1970 to the present, the Sunset Limited has never turned a profit. It is operated at a loss that entire time. In fact, the loss is so bad that Amtrak could actually save money by telling its customers, please don't take this train. We'll give you free airline tickets to fly. It would cost Amtrak less to pay to fly its customers than it does to move them by train. And you ask the question, well, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Why does the Sunset Limited persist? It's a public choice problem. The public choice problem is it persists because Congress votes for it to persist. And why does Congress vote for it to persist? Because the Sunset Limited line runs through a tremendous number of congressional districts, throwing off jobs in each one.
wow.
So every one of those congressional representatives, even though the Sunset Limited is bad for the country, each of those congressional representatives, it's good for them to vote to keep it in existence.
Them.
And so, yes, we have 40 years of ridiculous train. Yeah.
How do they pay for their employees to, like...
Oh, well, the government borrows. So you talk about our $22 trillion debt. Part of it is, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so stupid.
Yes, it is. Yes.
So, like, but that's just the one line, right? Amtrak makes money, but
It does on some of its lines. Generally, my understanding is the lines in the Northeast Corridor are profitable. Elsewhere, they aren't.
That's so weird.
Well, it's an interesting thing because one of the things that happens today is that people get very skittish when you talk about profit. And it's a separate conversation, but I think that comes down to a misunderstanding of money.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, people get skittish when you talk about profit, that they perceive that somehow a company that makes a profit is pulling resources out of the economy somehow. And what happens is when you're making a profit, what's actually happening is that you are providing more value to society than you're asking for in return. So you look at something like the Sunset Limited that's incurring a loss. It's actually wasting resources. It's taking resources that could be used for something else and transforming them into a product that has less value than the resources themselves had.
Got it.
And that difference in value, that's the loss. And so one of the things that we do is we become skeptical of things that make profit. And you'll hear a lot of the candidates now talking about insurance companies. Well, we don't want our money going to these insurance companies. They're making a profit. No, the fact that they're making a profit indicates that they're providing more value to us than they're asking for in return. That's a sign of something good happening.
Yeah.
It's not a sign of something bad.